again.
Of Dallas with 71 total yards of offense to New Orleans 125 right now. 3:30 to go in the half. And it is completed in a leveling blow. What a tackle that time by Jack Phillips as he laid it on Kenny out of the backfield.
Yeah, they're playing a zone. Matter of fact, New Orleans is doing a very good job of disguising. Antron runs a sideline pattern. You'll see Phillips come from the sideline, just level him, and with a great hit. Coming from a zone position, at the cornerback position, rather. In a zone.
And a first down and 10. And boy, every possession at this point critical for Dallas just to get some confidence back, because New Orleans, this is probably the one team the night feels going in that, hey, they're the better ball club. They played a very good game in beating Dallas the first go-round. Jenkins, misconnection there, intended for Moore, was the closest Dallas man to the ball. Anderson back covering on the play.
Well, I'll tell you what, Jenkins had Moore wide open come across the middle. What they're doing is running an old play that Drew Pearson and I ran when we were playing with the Cowboys, called a 16 route. The inside guy clears out as a wide receiver from the outside comes across the middle. They had him wide open. Jenkins has got to put that one on the money.
You see the benches here in arena football, much like hockey, where they're almost side by side. Eddie Kayak prefers to stay behind those boards. Meanwhile, Drew Pearson stays out in front of them. Jenkins, 2nd and 10 for the 15, and it is picked off and then dropped by Anderson and recovered by Dallas, and that play will stand. I think Moore recovered it after Anderson intercepted it.
Well, they're going to break on that one. Anthony Anderson made a great interception. The ball's thrown a little behind. Now, Jenkins is a very good quarterback, very capable quarterback, but he's trying to throw back and get across the grain. And here you see Anderson step right in front of Moore and makes the play. And then he loses the ball, and Moore makes a heads-up play. And that's what you talk about, going to get the ball. And he went in there and made that play himself. And he may have hurt himself on that play.
Jenkins, his 2nd interception, both of them by Anderson, I believe, and that brings Moore out of the ball game. But heads-up play by Sam Moore to stay with the play, even though he didn't come up with the football originally.
Boy, that's a big player to miss right there. Your #1 receiver right there, hurt. And the quarterback struggling a little bit.
And with Akins, their veteran, having been traded this week. Jenkins comes back to Kenny, incomplete. Hugging him in the end zone was Milton Barney.
Oh, that was a great play by Barney. Kenny ran a corner pattern. Jenkins put the ball on the money. Kenny might have to make this kind of play, but Barney played a great job on defense. Don't take anything from him. He's right there, but the ball is right on the outstretch of his hands, and Barney's right there stride for stride.
Take a look at Sam Moore out of Sam Houston. Came in leading him in receiving, in yardage, as well as in catches, and got his 7th touchdown reception of the year earlier tonight on a 29-yarder. There you see him, tops in the league, and out right now with an injury. We'll come back and find out if he'll return. Stay with us. New Orleans leads it 23-7. 1 minute to go in the half.
Confessions, fantasies, and private dreams. Now you can try them free. Women's Confessions. Learn the private secrets women hide. Dial 1-900-230-FREE. Try it free. Discover fantasies of romance and love. Dial 1-900-386-FREE. Try it free. Take a peek inside their private dreams. Dial 1-900-847-FREE and try it free. Try them now. Try them all for free. Confessions, fantasies, and private dreams. America's most revealing $15 confession lines with the first minute free. Adults only.
Hello, this is Milt Wirtz in the lab. Research indicates that we Americans create garbage at an alarming rate. To alleviate disaster, I have come up with a solution. Worms, garbage-eating worms. This subspecies can go through a pound of garbage in no time, and I've got bigger ones out back.
There's an easier way to save the world. Recycle. For your free recycling action guide, write Recycle. Environmental Defense Fund, 257 Park Avenue South, New York, New York.
New Orleans with a 23-7 lead here. Just 1 minute to go in the half. Back in the lineup. And last week, didn't we see a player leave with an injury and they said he couldn't return for 5 minutes, Tony?
Yeah, but that's because he had been substituted already. If you're substituted for, you cannot come back in.
Glad you cleared that up. A little bit difficult to stay with the rules sometimes this game, and it is fast moving. 2nd and 10 from the 21. Jenkins finds his man, and Brother Jeff stretches across the 15 down to about the 13.5-yard line, and the clock is moving now.
That's what you call a shoestring tackle. I think that's all Milton Barney had of Mr. Kennedy.
And Jenkins quickly under the gun on third down. Doesn't see a man behind him, does he? Threw it away in the end zone looking for Kenny. Moore was well covered on the near sideline. Flag on the play. We'll take a break. We'll be right back with more from here at the Superdome in New Orleans, where the Knight leads Dallas 23-7.
Hit the beach this summer with Prime Network for men's pro beach volleyball. The excitement of the men's pro beach volleyball tour. Experience it all summer on Prime Network. Available on most Prime Network affiliates.
All right, we're back. Here's our situation. 32 seconds to go in the quarter. New Orleans with a 23-7 lead. They have scored on just about every possession as they scored in their first 4. And now Dallas trying to get something here in the final seconds of the half. They have a first down and about the 8.5-yard line, first and goal.
Yeah, I had a chance to talk with Anthony Anderson for the New Orleans Knights, and before the game, he asked me what was the record for interceptions, and I told him it was 3 for a game, and he said he was going to get 4 tonight. So I don't want to put a jinx on him, but he already has 2 for tonight.
One he held on to, the other he fumbled back. So,
well, he's trying to get 3 in a quick way.
That's right. Nobody's perfect. Following the penalty, first and goal from the 8.5. And dropped in the end zone again. Kenny cannot find the handle.
Well, it's just a lack of concentration on Kenny's part right there. You hit him in a bad spot, the numbers. You just don't drop balls like that. Touchdowns, you don't get opportunities very often. They're running crossing routes. Here you see Jenkins drop by. You see his younger brother Jeff come across the stream. Then you see Kenny coming all the way across, and he just missed the ball. He didn't concentrate. He's a good ball player. The coaches they enjoyed watching him the first time they seen him, and he was a performer, but he's just not performing tonight.
Kenny's the guy they were trying to hit in the final moments of the first meeting between these two when Barney came up with the interception, and so he's just been really dogged by this New Orleans team all year. Second down, goal from the 8, and overthrown again, intended for Kenny with Barney on him. Clock stops in the final minute here. 21 seconds to go in the half.
I don't know. Dallas must feel they have something on Barney because they're going right at him, and Barney is right there on every play. He's almost wearing Kenny's jersey right now.
You think they're just trying to wear him out, Tony, and maybe it doesn't pay off now, but it does later in the ball game because he's such a critical performer for them?
Well, he's the only guy that goes both ways, especially teams. I mean, Coach Kayak thinks this guy's he's a great joy to play. He thinks this guy can play in the NFL undoubtedly because the coaches just enjoy watching him perform. He gives it 100%, all the time, and I'm sure he does it on the field. And I guess, that would be a great reason to go at him, but, this guy's a player.
And Kayak gets his troops with a timeout called. Hey, don't forget, if you like the excitement of arena football, we've got 2 exciting teams next week, Albany and Orlando. They play back-to-back, and anytime you play back-to-back in any sport, usually a little bad blood develops. They're playing this week up in Albany, next week in Orlando. We'll have it for you here on Prime Network, the Firebirds and the Predators, and what a show they put on down at Orlando Arena. Hope you join us live 7:30 Eastern Time. Check your local listings for the exact time in your part of the country as Prime Network brings you arena football, Albany and Orlando. Jenkins visiting with his man, Drew Pearson, right now as he came into this game, 3rd in the league in passing with 881 yards. Art Schleister of Detroit, look at those numbers for Schleister with 18 touchdown passes. Clearly the leader in that category, leading in yards, and also a guy who I guess was it last week, he spent some time on crutches, still came back and brought him through to a victory.
He did a good job. He's a very good ball player. Right now, this is a big play for Dallas. Dallas needs to get something going. They've been big trouble. Their execution has been very terrible. Very bad at the present moment. They must pick it up. Coach Pearson can't be happy with the way things are going.
not the way I'm sure that Drew had drawn it up when he made the deals this week that sent Ben Bennett and Carl Akins on their way. And they did acquire lineman Arnold Campbell, who was in uniform and playing tonight out of Alcorn State. He considers him a key performer to show up help on the line. Third and goal from the 8. And it is complete. It is a touchdown for the Texans. And what a reception by Sam Moore on the play.
Now that's what you call a big play. That's why he's a big play receiver. That's how you concentrate. You keep your eye on the ball.
Take a look at the replay here.
Jenkins shows a lot of class by staying in the pocket right here. He stands in there tall. He has to wait for a receiver to get open, and then he lets the ball go. Great concentration on his part, and an excellent catch by Moore. Here's another look at it. Here you see the rush over here, a very strong rush. He blitzes, he stands in the pocket, stands tall in the pocket, lets the ball go. Great catch by Moore.
Power for the point after. And this one is good. So he put it all the way over the nets, but put it through the uprights. And Dallas comes back with a big touchdown with just 14 seconds to go in the half. And Moore, who was the Iron Man last week in the league, gets his second reception of the night for a second TD reception, I should say. And Dallas makes it a 23-14 game.
Yeah, undoubtedly. That was a big play for Dallas. Dallas had to have a score, not necessarily 3 points. They needed 7. And obviously they went to their big play man, their Iron Man, Sam Moore. You know, Sam Moore was voted the team Iron Man because he's symbolic of his of an individual who plays both ways, and that's why we have the award, the Iron Man. These guys, they exemplify themselves on the field offensively and defensively, and this guy's an exceptional ball player. And we have another one on New Orleans in Milton Barney.
Well, there's a look at Sam Moore, who got racked up a little bit earlier, came back, scores a big touchdown for the Texans. The scoring drive, 5 plays, 21 yards, required 1 minute, 31 seconds. And Jenkins, the 8-yard TD pass. Jenkins, now on the year, has thrown for 15 touchdowns, has had 7 interceptions on the season. And there's Milton Barney. He's had a big night himself for the New Orleans Knight in this first half as they lead at 23-14. He has scored a pair of touchdowns in the receiving end. On the return, Barney is brought down at the 11-yard line. Tackle on the play by Jeff Hurd out of Kansas State. And again, players get into a little bit on the sideline with just 11 seconds remaining. Don't go away yet, right, Tony? That was a short field.
Well, I tell you what, that was a big play by Hurd. Hurd was the only guy out there. They had Jenkins hemmed up against the wall, and Barney was trying to get to that area. I mean, a Mack truck could have went through there if Hurd would have missed that play.
And with the nets being live, there's been a couple of touchdowns that have been scored this year in late situations where balls have come off the net and been recovered by the kicking team. So stay with us here. 1st and 10 for Guidry and crew. What a half he's had. Up the middle, that's Barney, and he takes it down inside Dallas territory at about the 24. And Mickey Guidry again threads the needle. Jenkins was covering on the play.
Well, that's a great play by Guidry. I mean, he made this play all by himself, folks. Here you see, he steps back in the pocket. He gets a little pressure from the inside. He breaks outside. He gives Milton Barney time to get open, puts the ball on the money. First down, they got field position. And this is going to be a big play. What do? Do you kick a field goal, or do you throw it in the net and let Culpepper or Barney make the play for you?
Well, with 4 seconds to go, you got to figure this is it. And New Orleans coach Eddie Kayat, there he is, calls the timeout. Harold Jackson to the far left there. Brian Gardner, his other assistant, in the middle. And quite a combination here. Gardner's got the real experience in Arena Football League. Harold Jackson, of course, one of the all-time greats in the National Football League as a receiver. And Eddie Kayat's been around forever and really a fun and interesting guy to be around.
Oh, he really is. He's an enjoyable person. I think he's got to be very pleased with the way his ball club is performing. Coach Jackson's got to feel very good because the offense is moving the ball, and they've been somewhat salient in the way that they were performing, and now they're making some moves. And Marco Morales can kick the ball, obviously. He's number 2 in the league in kickoffs, and he's a great kicker.
This one will be a 40-yarder. His longest of the year was a 45-yarder last week at Detroit. So let's see how he comes here. Jazz hit a 41-yarder against Denver earlier this year, so he's capable. Morales from 40 on the field goal attempt on the final play here of the half. Remember, off the nets, it's live. And he misses. It is touched by New Orleans, and that is a penalty. You must allow the receiving team the opportunity to catch the football, and
you must give them 5 yards when the ball comes off the net. It has to give them 5 yards for the opposing team to receive the ball. Otherwise, it's a penalty. But that ball is good if it allowed them 5 yards before someone touched the ball. And there's a possibility that New Orleans had an opportunity to return that ball, so you have to be very aware of what's going on.
You know, a lot of times you think the half can enter the defensive penalty. I think in this case, it will.
We got interference on the kicking team with the 5-yard halo belt. It'll be Dallas's ball, first down after 3-yard penalty, 1 untimed down.
Okay, there's the rule. They do get a chance. Otherwise, you reward the kicking team in that case. If you have them kick it over with a penalty, they get another shot at scoring. In this case, they give Dallas 1 play with no time on the clock before the end of the half.
Correct. You can never end the game on a penalty, either the half or the game.
50-yard field. They've got to go 41 yards on this final play to score.
Boy, this has been a 50-yard indoor war because they've been going up and down this field so fast, folks. It's unbelievable.
23-14 New Orleans. Dallas with 1 hope here to end the half. And Jenkins. Thrown in the backfield, and
there's a souvenir.
The ball goes into the stands, and yeah, you keep it. If that penalty is on New Orleans, though, we'll have another play.
And the fans will probably hope for that same play for another souvenir.
All right, that is the end of the half. We'll take a look at it again. And the best part of this one are the fans, and they come in with Iron Man thinking as they go for it here. Watch them in the stands. You get to keep the football in this league when it comes out of bounds.
Let's get that guy's number. Take a look at this guy. This is the way you got to go after the ball. We want this kind of excitement, folks. Here's a guy stretched out, but he can't hold on to it.
It's live off the wall.
We can't use him.
Look at that. And the tackle is made.
That's the intensity we want.
All right, stay with us, folks. We're going to have some fun. Tony will talk to Drew Pearson at the half. We'll be back with more. It's 23-14 New Orleans.
This is
Arena football, the war on the floor. Welcome back to the Louisiana Superdome in New Orleans. Our score here at halftime, the New Orleans Knight trying to knock off the Texans again of Dallas. It's 23-14 New Orleans. We may mention the fact that Sam Moore of Dallas had an outstanding game last week against Columbus, and he was recognized as one of the outstanding athletes from this past week. The Little Caesars' most valuable player from Week 5 in Arena football is Fred Gales of the Albany Firebirds. In a game in which there was a total of 110 points scored, Gales made his presence felt. He caught 7 passes for 105 yards and 3 TDs for an average of 15 yards per reception. Gales also returned 7 kickoffs for 159 yards, averaging almost 23 yards per return. Unfortunately for the Firebirds, they came out on the short end, falling to Tampa Bay 57-53. The Ironman Award went to Sam Moore of the Dallas Texans. In the Texans' 38-26 victory over Columbus, Moore caught 5 passes for 75 yards and 3 touchdowns. He also had a 51-yard missed field goal return. Gave him 126 yards in total offense while recording 2 tackles, 3 assists, and 1 sack on defense. For his performance on both sides of the ball, Sam Moore was voted the Iron Man of the Week. And a gutsy performance by Moore so far in this week's ball game here, as he has caught 2 touchdown passes that has kept Dallas in the ball game, the last one coming with just 14 seconds in the half. Our score 23-14 New Orleans. We come back. Tony Hill visits with his old teammate Drew Pearson here on Arena Football on Prime Network.
Cheeser, not 1 but 2 pizzas loaded with cheese and up to 5 toppings for $8.98.
Teaser.
When sports cream, when arms are sore, when legs ache, when muscles hurt. Why sports cream? Massaging sports cream in brings fast pain relief. No medicine-y smell, no odor. Why sports cream? Because it works.
Athlete's Foot. Every year, over 28 million Americans get it. Try NP27. Its doctor-recommended ingredient stops burning and itching fast. NP27. Nothing's a better cure for Athlete's Foot.
Follow America's top amateur athletes all the way to Olympic gold on Prime Network. All summer, we'll canvass the nation looking for tomorrow's superstars. Experience the intense competition as these young sportsmen challenge the world with their talent. The excitement of track and field, the grace of gymnastics, and the fervor of swimming and diving. It's all here as Olympic hopefuls compete on Prime Network.
There are 4 absolutes that'll help you get the most out of your ability as a pitcher. Balance, direction, weight transfer, and deception. Each one of these 4 absolutes are discussed in length in a 1-hour video called Pitching Absolutes by me, Tom House. And here's how to order it.
Call 1-800-937-3366. Tom House, Pitching Absolutes.
Welcome back to halftime. My name is Tony Hill, and I have the pleasure of interviewing or talking to one of my former colleagues and now coach of the Dallas Texans, Mr. Drew Pearson. Drew, everyone knows that you're a great ball player. He's the type of player that played his guts out before every game. But I had the opportunity of witnessing him spilling his guts before every game, and I wonder, do you feel the same way before every game now?
No, Tony, I'm a little more reserved, a little older, I eat less, so I don't have that problem. But you guys in the locker room knew when I was going through that, I was ready to play, right?
That's right, that's right. We did know that. I had the pleasure of experiencing every game before each game. But one of the things that really concerns me, I never envisioned you as the Tom Landry mode. I see you strut up and down, and the only thing that you're missing is your hat. Now, how do you conceive yourself as a coach now?
Well, Tony, I'm just trying to learn how to be a coach and learn game by game. And a lot of things I learned from Coach Landry or observed from Coach Landry, I kind of implement into our football team, in our system. And I start to sound like him every once in a while. Some of the things that he used to say to us that we couldn't believe he was saying, now I hear myself saying those same things. So it's part of it, but he's been the biggest influence on me as a professional athlete, and so I take that knowledge and try to incorporate that into my football team.
Well, I remember when Drew and I used to play, and we caught a lot of passes together, and obviously have another great receiver by Harold Jackson here, but we were always offensive-minded. We always believed there wasn't enough balls for us. Drew, how are you implementing a passing attack in this particular league?
Well, Tony, I just want to get the ball to my outside receivers, whether it's short passes, intermediate passes, or deep passes. We're last in the league as far as running the football, and that shouldn't be a surprise to you because we used to hate it when Dorsett would take all the handoffs and we'd be open all the time. They wouldn't throw the football to us, but I think in this league you have to throw the football to be successful, and why beat your head against the wall if you can get 5 quick yards or easy yards on a quick hitch pass as opposed to running a sweep and maybe getting 2 or 3 yards. So my philosophy is to take what the defense gives us and try to eat up first downs as we get into the end zone.
Drew, I remember one time we had a great locker room or great summer vacation. We came in from working out one day and we're trying to catch passes, and you had a couple drinks that time. Do you ever remember that practice, and do you remember very much about that?
No, Tony, that was just an unusual circumstance, and once in a lifetime.
Once in a lifetime. Well, I tell you what, we've got a great person, right? A great coach here and a great player, and it's a pleasure to have Drew Pearson on our show this afternoon. And we'll be back with more halftime in a moment.
Welcome back to the Superdome in New Orleans. Bill Land and Tony Hill with you. A wild first. And they said, hey, we need to play these guys every week. I don't know what it is, but New Orleans is like world beaters.
Well, I tell you what, New Orleans is playing very good today, and this is exactly what Coach Kayak wants. And this is exactly what Coach Kayak wants, especially for Gitry. He comes in, he performs extremely well. We knew he had the talent, but now he's showing what he can do.
We'll take a look at some of the highlights. It has been the Guidry and Barney show for New Orleans. Here's a look at this evening, and Guidry just came out on fire, hit his first.
Yeah, they ran a great pass. Here's Gitry dropping back. Just sets up. He fakes the pass where he tries to hit Barney in the corner, and he just runs it in for himself. He's having a great evening, folks.
So Guidry, a big reception from Jenkins.
Well, this might be the biggest play of the night. Right here, looks like Dallas is getting ready to get blown out the game. And Moore makes a great play, and Jenkins allows that play to be possible because he stood in the pocket very strong.
Here's New Orleans, a team that had a great rushing night in the first meeting. Tonight they're doing it through the air with 144 yards passing and just 6 yards rushing.
Well, last week I guess Dallas is stopping the run this week, but they're definitely not stopping the pass. Right now, Gitry's been able to do whatever he wants, and Dallas must stop that if they want to win the game.
Dallas has been hurt by the turnover. One of the interceptions helped lead to a New Orleans touchdown. Well, the second half in a moment. The Texans in the night, and it's New Orleans 23-14. Arena football. Iron Man football here. The 50-yard indoor war. The Dallas Texans and the New Orleans Knight. Second half getting ready to get underway as it's New Orleans with a 23-14 lead. And Alfred Jenkins and crew will come back and see what they can do with things as we'll find out just how important that touchdown was in the final moments of the first half for the Texans, with Jenkins throwing to Moore for 8 yards. And Jenkins really had a chance to air it out in the first half, Tony. A lot of responsibility put on his shoulders. Even though Bennett did not play, there was always the knowledge that he could come in and was a proven performer, and now it is certainly this man's show.
Well, you got to think that you got to understand or believe that he's feeling that also. The fact that Bennett is gone now, that the responsibilities are totally his, and everybody's looking after him. But he's done a very good job. The only thing, one of the problems that he's had is the receivers have dropped about 3 or 4 passes, and you can't win games when your receivers are dropping passes when they're wide open.
Jenkins and Guidry, what a job he has done to come in here. See one of the injured Knight players who is not able to play this evening. There are some injuries in this ball game. I'll tell you what, it is not a game for pansies. You want to come out here, you will get hit. And the other side of it is you get the chance to throw it back the other way with Ironman football here in New Orleans. And the crowd here tonight, not sure what they were expecting. It holds 15 here at the Superdome in Louisiana for arena football. They have had 8,800 one game, 7,400 another game. And the kickoff on a short one to Culpepper at the 10, the 20, and across midfield. Well, Power cannot be happy with that as Jim Power hit a low line drive that Culpepper, who was capable of taking them all the way, just about did. If he breaks through that line, he's gone for 6.
Oh, that's a terrible kick. A terrible kick. That gives New Orleans an excellent field position. You can't afford to have that. Those kind of turnovers, those kind of mistakes are detrimental to a ball club. Coach Mitchell said he wanted to work on their specialty teams. He thought the team was coming along in that area, and here they go. Here in this game, they show up playing terribly in the specialty department.
What a night for Guidry. What a way to start in arena football. His first start of the year in place of Willie Totten, who hadn't played poorly, just the team wasn't winning, according to Eddie Kayat. He had to do something to jumpstart. And on 1st and 10, it is complete to McIntosh, and he is slammed into the wall as the crowd oohs and ahs. Morris made the hit.
That's why they call this intense, condensed football, because, folks, there's very little place to hide on this field. And here you see a great hit over here, and whoa! And that sideline just can kill you. It can be a friend at one moment, and it can be your worst enemy at another moment.
So McIntosh, on the first down play, picks up 8 yards on the reception.
Alex Morris with that hit.
So it's a 2nd down and 2 from the 15 as they taken back to the 23-yard line of Dallas. McIntosh in motion, and it is intended for Culpepper. Up there with him was Jeff Jenkins, though, and they have a few words.
Oh, they're going at it. Jeff got a break on that. He was playing great defense, but Willie Culpepper picked up the ball and was able to almost make the play. Guidry did a good job by getting rid of this ball. He just lays it up, gives the receiver a chance to play, and here's Hurd. Hurd is a big player for their team. He's always been a hustler on their ball club. But here's the change. See, Culpepper tried to throw away Jenkins to make the play, and just didn't have enough time to shed Jenkins on that play.
Mickey Guidry out of LSU, 24 years old. And so far, leading the night here this evening to a 9-point spread, 23-14 over the Dallas Texans. McIntosh in motion. Keep it on the ground to Mason, and he gets nothing.
Yeah, Denard said, I want some of this Mason to eat. I'm tired of eating pizza.
Well, I don't think he gets tired of eating anything at his size. Only 320 pounds, Frank Denard of Arkansas State, tackles another Arkansas guy as Mark Mason played his college football at Southern Arkansas.
Well, I'm sure Coach Pearson enjoys the fact that he's eating something other than pizza right now and happens to be New Orleans defensive running back.
Well, you know in Dallas that he is always referred to as Little Nate, referring to Nate Newton, who's turned into a fine lineman for the Dallas Cowboys. Here comes the field goal attempt from Morales as he is just a couple yards shy of midfield, makes it a 31-yard attempt for Marco Morales. And it's good. So New Orleans continues with the heat on, and the Knight tacks on 3 more on its opening possession to make it 26-14. Kickoff coming up in just a moment.
Great legs.
Thank you.
How do you get them?
I used to do aerobics till I dropped. Then I found Thigh Master. Every single time you squeeze Thigh Master, you strengthen and tone right where you need it. So it's easy to squeeze your way to shapely hips and thighs.
I thought I'd never fit into these jeans again. Thank you, Thigh Master.
I recommend it and use it.
The secret to shapely thighs is exercising these muscles with just the right resistance. This balanced resistance coil is designed to give you results quickly and comfortably. Want to tone your upper chest and arms? Thigh Master will give you excellent results. Thigh Master. We may not have been born with great legs, but now we can look like we were.
To order your Thigh Master, call 1-800-437-2200. Have your credit card ready or send check or money order for $19.95 plus $4.50 for shipping and handling to this address. And if you're not fully satisfied, return it in 30 days for your money back. Plus, if you call right now, we'll also send you Suzanne's Slender for Life plan absolutely free. Thigh Master is not available in stores, so act right now.
Well, New Orleans shows Dallas right away that the Knight not about to quit here in the second half and tacks on 3 more on the 31-yard field goal from Morales to make it 26-14, and Jenkins to receive the kickoff. some room to roam. The 10, the 15. Jeff Jenkins at 20 could go, and he stumbles, but not until he crosses the 25-yard line, and they'll mark it at the 21 of New Orleans. Jenkins just a hair from going all the way.
Boy, Morales earned his pay on that play, even though he's made some fine kicks here. Jenkins has got a wonderful hole. He comes out full speed, he hits a hole, and you see Morales comes right by the leg and trips him up. A great play by Morales, great run by Jenkins.
And Dallas back in action. Jeff Jenkins.
Great field position. They needed that.
There's Alfred's first half numbers. 2 TDs, 2 intercepted. All 1 they got back after the fumble by Anderson. Here is Ward, and he goes across the 15-yard line. Mitchell Ward, and on that move you can see why he's got the nickname of Ninja Turtle, as he literally walked on some folks before Anthony Anderson.
He gave him that ninja high step. You know, you don't jump that high when you're a Ninja Turtle. Ward might have been a couple inches taller. He might have been able to jump over everyone. He did a great job. He's a power runner. The coaches like his intensity. He's an aggressive player. He's full speed, balls out player.
And it's 11:09 to go here in the third quarter. Second down, 3 to go. The ball on the 12-yard line. Ward in trouble. Wanted to pitch it back, and now he does hand it off, and a fumble by Hurd. It's New Orleans football. Oh, mama, hold on. And that's what Dallas is thinking as Hazley comes up with the fumble recovery. Big play for the night.
Boy, Hurd, you can hold on to that ball. That's a terrible play by Ward's part. You never, when you're in desperation, you hold on to the ball, take the loss, and make the play. Here he is. You see Ward reverse field, and he's got several guys holding him. He needs to leave the ball alone, and he throws it to Hurd, who's an offensive lineman or defensive tackle. They're not used to carrying the ball, and as a result, he fumbled the ball.
Well, and Hurd's first thought was, hey, thanks, I'm headed to the races, where his first thought should have been just hold on, and anything you get out of that is a bonus. And now they're discussing the play. I didn't see any flags. Well, there's a flag, and might be talking about the possibility of a forward lateral.
I think so, quite certainly.
You understand arena football, though this is the 5th year for the league, there's less of this type of activity there's been in previous years, but still some problems.
Well, here's a look at it right here.
We have a flag on the play. Dallas throwing the ball forward, touching an ineligible receiver. The down is ruled incomplete pass. It's a loss of down because it was an ineligible player. Third down.
All right, so you can throw that shovel pass, but it's an illegal receiver is the call on the play. And in New Orleans' situation, you don't have a choice here. Eddie Kayad doesn't like it, but you don't have a choice of saying, well, forget the penalty, we'll take the ball. That's not the case.
Yes.
So, incomplete pass, and boy, what a break for the Dallas Texans here, as the turnover bugaboo got them in Dallas the first time when they had 5 fumbles, lost 3 of them, and an interception at the end of the game prevented Dallas from coming away with a victory. And they're turning it over here tonight, and this time they get one back, and this is much like the interception that they had that Anderson coughed back up to him on a fumble. So Dallas getting a chance for some new life here.
Well, it's a big break for him.
Third down and short, and it is complete. And is it a score? As Jenkins, very close, did not get in the end zone.
It looks like his knees hit the ground before he scored. Is it Jenkins to Jenkins? And they wanted me to tell their mother hello on that first touchdown. And moms, I don't think they can get any closer.
Take a look here.
Jenkins uses great concentration to hold on to that ball. And you see the knee, his right knee goes down before he goes in the end zone. Here's a look at it right here. Watch that right knee. There it is. And then he goes down. He tries to stretch out. And also, the ball didn't cross the goal line either.
Yeah, excellent call by the officials. There is no replay action here in arena football. Thank you very much. First down and goal, and Dallas goes in for the touchdown. So the Texans take advantage of that break. And Jenkins gets the score himself. Alfred Jenkins on the run, his 4th TD of the year, and Dallas is right back in the thick of things, 26-20.
Well, I guess they just kept that one in the family. One Jenkins can't do it, the other one will. Alfred just goes right off tackle over here in the end zone for himself. Oh, there's a legendary Harvey Martin on the sideline over there, looks like. Oh, Harvey Martin and I played a few years together. Outstanding defensive lineman, one of the best in the business, and all-pro. Maybe trying to give him a little inspiration on that sideline.
Power for the point after, and this one is good. So Dallas makes it 26-21. And stay with us. We got another dandy here on Prime Network. New Orleans up by 5.
I bought a California lottery ticket, but I don't know if I won.
Call 1-900-786-LOTTO for winning numbers of every Pick 5 and Pick 6 lottery in the U.S. and Canada.
But I don't know how much I won.
Call 1-900-786-LOTTO for every payout, every jackpot, every lottery, every day.
I played the Florida lottery, and it only cost me 88 cents to find out that I won!
Nobody's going to check that guy's press pass, are they, Tony?
Boy, he looks like he's ready to play right now. I never seen him look so mean except for the time I fumbled a punt on the 1-yard line in the Super Bowl. Then he was trying to show me how to catch passes.
Harvey Martin, former Dallas Cowboy. Tony Hill, former Cowboy. My partner up here this evening. I'm Bill Lang. Glad to have you with us. We got quite a matchup here, Dallas and New Orleans, and New Orleans' lead has been trimmed to a nickel, 26-21. Here's Martin. And nearly stripped to the football inside the 10-yard line. Good coverage that time by the Dallas Texans, and New Orleans will have it 1st and 10 from their own 8-yard line. The Dallas scoring drive tonight in the last play. Jenkins, the touchdown run. It's a 1-yard run after the pass play down there, and Jenkins carrying it himself. 4 plays at 21 yards. And Guidry gets a round of applause. He comes to the huddle. His counterpart, Jenkins, is 10 of 22 for 93 yards this evening.
But we're having a game like last time these two teams met. To the wire the game went to, and it looks like we're getting ready to see the same thing.
Fans are getting into it here at the Superdome. 1st and 10 from the 8. And the ball just a bit underthrown, intended for Willie Culpepper.
They're picking it up out there, folks. The fans are getting pumped up. The players are getting pumped up. And this game's getting exciting right now. The fans are starting to enjoy it. They want a little action out there.
Well, I think they're young. We want the ball at one point.
This young man just grabbed the ball. Little young kid just went out there and got him the ball. He's feeling fantastic, and the fans are applauding him for making that catch.
And the Hooters girls approve as well.
I'm sure they do.
Okay. 2nd down and 10 from the 8-yard line. Big series for New Orleans with Dallas getting some momentum. Guidry out of the reach of Culpepper. So Guidry, who hit his first 8 tonight, not quite as hot here to start the second half. Newsom was covering on the play.
They got away from Guidry, I think. Milton Barney ran about a 10-yard sideline pattern. He ran a very good route. He pushed the defensive back off him. He broke to the sideline, and he was wide open. He just missed the pass.
There's a good camera angle there. You could see Harold Jackson, the one-time NFL great receiver, who was signaling the plays. And Tony mentioned earlier that the intention this year was for the New Orleans quarterback, then Willie Totten, to call his own plays. But in the last week or two, they have changed things here, and particularly with the new starter in Guidry. He has the plays attached to his wrist, but they're called from the sidelines. From Jackson, he has the option to call the audible at the line. 3rd and 10 from the 8. And they got the first down, I believe. A flag thrown. Maybe a little short. Culpepper, the receiver on the play. Let's see where they mark it. The spot is very important here.
Maybe some illegal roughness right now also. Dallas appears to be a little concerned.
Offensive pass interference, 5-yard penalty, loss of down number 4.
Offensive pass interference, and if this crowd wasn't irate at the previous ruling, they certainly are now.
Well, here's a look at it. Barney runs a curl pattern. Obviously, he must have pushed off to get some freedom there. Then again, you see the guy right in front of us, Frank Harris. Looks like they were going at it on the field, and that might have been offensive pass interference.
As a result now, you take a look at the scoring leaders here. Boy, George LaFrance having a fantastic year for Detroit with those 11 touchdowns. Morales kicking out of his own end zone. So a 60, take a guess, about a 61-yarder here. 8-yard end zones in Arena League football. This one way short, and Jenkins an opportunity to return. 5, 10, got a nice block. 20, could go with one more. The 20-yard line of New Orleans. Jenkins a little upset. He should be, Tony. I think he should have scored.
Well, I'll tell you what, that guy made a big play, but he had a sideline. He had Sam Moore sitting over there ready to deliver that knockout blow, and all he had to do was get out there. Here's a look at it from the end zone. you'll see Jeff Jenkins make some excellent moves over here. You can't take anything from him. He made a great move, and he'll break to the right, and Sam Moore's sitting right into the outside. He had an opportunity to go outside or inside. He elected to go inside. You can't mark the effort. He had a great effort, and he's trying to make the play, and he has been the reason they have improved on their specialty teams, obviously by his work habits.
Yeah, Jeff Sims got him with an unusual move there, so give him some credit on the play. On the pitch out on 1st and 10, Jeff Atkins, maybe a loss of a yard or so on the play as Anthony Anderson was there to bring him down, and Troy Fields also on the play. Anderson's had a pretty good night for a first game.
He sure has. I think Anderson got the Ole block from Sam Moore. Sam Moore went at him and just completely missed Anderson, and Anderson came up to make the play. Great play by Anderson. The reason Coach Kayak picked Anderson up, he was a big back and he had great speed. He can cover the little fast guys, and he figured he'd be an asset to their ball club.
Dallas blocking has been one of the downfalls, or one of the negatives of the season this year. 3-2, but one of the reasons that Akins was let go, an all-league receiver for the last couple of years, that he didn't block well enough, didn't play defense well enough for Drew Pearson. 2nd down and 12 for the 21, and incomplete. Boy, Jenkins, under heavy pressure, makes a nice play, and Atkins not able to hang on.
Well, that was one of the downsides on Atkins. They say Atkins, as I said, has great speed, is a great feet, but he can't catch the ball very well, and he has to work on them skills.
Look at, oh man, Troy Fields, just one good shove. Look at this.
Here's a ball thrown in the perfect place, right in the hands. And as a result, Atkins dropped the ball, and those kind of plays hurt. The play was set up real well. Jenkins brought the defense in on the delayed draw, and they weren't able to execute.
3rd and 12 from the 21 after a great return by Jeff Jenkins. Let's see what Dallas does with pressure on, and he's dumped, but he unloaded the football. As again, the pressure on Johnny Sims out of Mississippi Valley says, come on, Night fans. And they love their football down here in New Orleans.
Well, he's trying to wake them up for sure. Here's the pressure. Sims just comes straight over the middle. Jenkins does a good job by just getting rid of him rather than taking a sack. I think Coach Pearson's got to be proud of that, but you're going to have to wonder how Jenkins is going to feel this afternoon or after this game.
He probably thinks it's afternoon. 26-21, 4th down and 12 on the play, and a 38-yard attempt coming up here for Jim Power on the field goal.
There's the specialty team.
And the backup quarterback, Russell, throws it. It's complete. Touchdown, Alabama. What a play.
Boy, was that one planned or what? They talk about the specialty teams. There was an error right there, but they turned it into a positive play. Possibly.
Flag on the play. Coster scored the touchdown. Now, he is a tight end. He's a legal receiver. Might depend where he lines up.
Eligible pass receiver downfield. 3-yard penalty. Repeat 4th down.
They get another opportunity, but, you know, this turnabout might be fair play here, Tony, because New Orleans lost a great play before one on Dallas mistake.
Well, I'll tell you what. 65 was downfield. You see there, Coster makes a great catch. Mickey threw the ball very well. Mickey Russell threw the ball very well. It pays to have a quarterback catching those kickoffs for the specialty teams over there. And you see Mickey Russell, he's a quarterback, folks. Now, he can run the ball also.
So now it's about a 40-yarder this time. Certainly long enough, and it is good. So Dallas does get something out of it, and that's got to be a momentum builder for the Texans.
Great kick.
They make it 26-24 on the field goal. We'll be back with a kickoff.
Say who we are, and you get this with your paid subscription to this. Popular Science at a very special rate, $9.46 off the cover price, and this handsome tote free if you grab the bargain now.
Call toll-free 1-800-255-3600. 12 issues are $13.94. An instant TV discount of 40% off the newsstand price. To save and claim your gift, call 1-800-255-3600. That's 1-800-255-3600.
Well, Power's 40-yard field goal makes this a 2-point game and a tight fit here in New Orleans. Let's take a look at the previous muff, though, that almost resulted in a Dallas touchdown.
Yeah, these are the problems that Dallas has had all year long. Terrible special teams. Here, Mickey Russell throws the ball up. Coster makes a great play, but Jeff Hurd is downfield, as you can see, eliminates the touchdown. Dallas has been having those kind of breaks all year long. Now here's a look at the real one right here. Great concentration, great kick. Oh, and Power. I believe Power knew that was good when he kicked the ball.
So he gives them a lift, and Dallas, after being down in this ball game at the half, 23-14, and at one point 23-7, has come back now. Other than the New Orleans field goal by Morales to start the second half, it's been a Dallas second half scoring-wise, and it's 26-24. How about that for a lack of drive? 4 plays, minus 5 yards, and Power the 40-yard field goal.
A lack of drive.
But they'll take it. And the leg on this one off the nets and touched by Barney, a live ball. And New Orleans just trying to pounce on it at that point. It was out of bounds. It'll go back to the ninth, though.
Once that ball is touched by the opposing team, that ball is good. And Dallas has a chance to recover it. Milton Barney misses the kick. As you'll see, here's the ball kicked. Hits the net, and Milton Barney tries to make an adjustment, misses the ball. It's a good thing that Willie Culpepper was there to knock the ball out of bounds and make the play. Great hustle by Reggie Davis. He was out there trying to make that play.
Mickey Guidry got up to such a great start, hit 8 in a row to start the ball game, and since then 2 of his second 8. First and 10, ball on the 5 for the ninth. Culpepper really leveled at the line. Pass is complete to Barney, and he gets hammered on the play, and Dallas is starting to make some hits. Jeff Jenkins with the tackle. Man, did you see Culpepper when he came in motion and they checked him?
Alex Morris made a heck of a hit. He's a great football player. They think he's an outstanding football player, but one of the things is he's not a very good cover.
Both guys hurt on this play. Jenkins with the hit of Barney, and Jeff Jenkins.
Here's a look at the play by Jenkins. Jenkins is coming to try to make the interception at the same time and making a hit. The ball's a little behind here. Jenkins tries to run through the receiver, and that's what you're supposed to do.